Irish, actually. I think it's an Irish name.
That is confirmed by an Irishman who's talking in my ear right now.
Oh, really? Oh, well, he should know. But the real question is, where did Depeche Mode come from? Because it's a frightfully posh-sounding name.
Yeah, it sounds posh, but it's not that posh, actually. And I got it from college. I was at college doing retail display and fashion design, and I was using a magazine there called Depeche Mode.
Ah.
And I just liked the name, and we was looking for a name at the time as a band, so I just brought it along to rehearsal.
And it means?
It means nothing the way we actually print it, because there's no accents or anything on the Depeche. So in fact, it's meaningless the way we actually...
What should it mean?
It should mean it's from the verb to hurry, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's
fast-going fashion.
You know,
fast-going,
like that.
Mode is fashion, yeah.
Do you think you live up to your name?
No. Well, we move on. I don't know about fashion.
Well, most important of all, while you settle back and spend the bank holiday Monday with us, are you Popeye fans?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Ah, terrific.
Which is a very good thing, because right now it is time for Popeye. It is 7:23 this Monday morning, time for Popeye.
Goes, until Pat Nevin.
The star right winger.
Yeah, so he gives a terrible review in one of the music papers, so he's had it when I see him.
Chelsea, you've had it. No longer Depeche Mode.
Shattered our illusions,
Yeah,
yes.
and there's in fact two members of the band that support Chelsea, or they did. I don't know. In fact, Andy's going today, I think.
Yeah.
Ah.
Andy's still going today, so he still supports them. Yeah, but I don't know whether he's going to do something to Pat Nevin or what.
Will they survive without supporting Depeche Mode? We'll find out after the break.
7:39, just to tell you, just in case you've just tuned in, there's a lot of justs in that sentence. Dave and Alan are here from Depeche Mode. They're our special guests this morning. I gather that you're a bit addicted to Space Invader machines.
Yeah, a couple of members of the band are, yeah. Actually, the two
The two are here, they're the real...
they've both got computers and things at home in which they plug into their tellies and things. And
Are you not into that?
I used to be, but I sort of... I'm not that interested anymore. If we go do a gig somewhere and there's machines there, then I'll have a go, you know, but I won't go looking for them.
Because they're a bit addictive, aren't they?
Yeah, you know, and after a while as well, there's not many interesting machines now as well. A lot of them are getting a bit boring, you know.
But it's difficult to control the other two, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
And they drive the rest of the public insane.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, with the noises, yeah.
Especially in pubs.
And if they're at home.
I can't stand them in pubs.
Funny, talking on noise, because you play synthesizers. Is it true that you can sort of plug into an ear set and not so nobody else hears the noise?
Well, yeah, well, in fact, that's how we used to rehearse. In fact, we used to, a long while ago, years ago, when we used to rehearse in a garage in one of the band's Mum's garage. The noise was so loud that she made us wear headphones, so we used to have to rehearse, and all you could hear was like the tapping of the keys going.
That silent keyboard in that program where you have to. What would you normally be doing on a bank holiday Monday if you weren't here?
You don't
recovering.
I don't know. Yeah, recovering, I suppose. Recovering from something. I don't know what.
Sounds good. Well, it is August bank holiday, as I said, except for Scotland.
Depeche Mode, or two members of Depeche Mode, who are our special guests this morning, Dave and Alan. We've been talking to you about how your group was formed, how it got its name. You've been all over the world, haven't you? I mean, New York, the Far East.
Yeah.
What impression does that leave on young lads from Acton in your case, Basildon in your case, suddenly to be thrust into worldwide tours?
Well, I mean, obviously, you know, being in a band, it gives you the great opportunity to actually see all these places. And if I was working in a general job, the likely thing would be that I would never be able to go to these sort of places, you know. So obviously, it's a great opportunity, you know.
Do you think you actually really do appreciate it, Al? I mean, or is there a danger that because you're working, all this passage?
Obviously, there is that danger, yes, and we do so much that half the time we don't have the time to even appreciate what we're doing, you know. But I think we do realise we're very lucky, you know, to be able to do those things, and we enjoyed ourselves very much, particularly when we went to the Far East and saw Japan and Thailand and Hong Kong.
Yeah, that was really...
It's quite an experience.
Yeah, sure. Do you think, I mean, you say you're extremely lucky. Do you think luck plays a big part in determining which of the bands are successful and which aren't? Obviously you're talented, otherwise you wouldn't be there. You can play the music, you can sing. But is luck a factor as well?
Obviously, yeah. To a certain extent.
Sorry. One of you, right.
In the beginning, yeah, I mean, obviously, in the beginning, it's luck is, you know, you need the luck. When we played for about a year, you know, playing very small clubs and horrible places, you know, before anyone showed any interest at all, you know. We were playing to sometimes 5 people, you know, just in a pub, you know, just to play to the people that would be drinking in the pub.
And then you were spotted by whom?
We were spotted by Daniel, who in fact we went to a long while before that and took a tape to him, and he just walked out the door. We actually played the tape to him, and he was in a terrible mood, and someone said, Daniel, these guys have got a tape to play to you, and he came rushing in, listened to it for about a minute, and then just rushed out the door. And so we said, right, we'll never see him again. And then in fact, when we was playing a gig in London, he came along, and he actually come backstage afterwards and said he'd like to meet us, you know, and maybe talk about doing a single.
That's Daniel Miller, by the way, from Mute Records.
He actually runs Mute.
Yes.
I was almost
Is that
afraid
the
to
label you're
ask.
still with?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's independent.
Fine, now, the significance of this has already been explained to you, and you picked out 2 birthday cards.
Yes.
Would you like to read them out?
This is a birthday wish for someone special. It says, hello TVAM, could you please say happy birthday to my mum? And it's Magdalene Carer, 13A, Rockhampton Avenue, Westwood, East Kilbridge, that's Glasgow. And she'll be 22 on the 27th of August, 84. And she sends it with lots of love from Alistair and Dad Jack.
Smashing. Alan, who have you got?
And my ones, could you please wish my daughter Laura Lamb and her granddad Joe happy birthday on the 27th? And that's love from Mum, Dad, Grandma and Nana. She's 7.
And John's got someone
A
special.
quickie, yes, for a little girl called Gemma Ballock, who lives here in the East End of London, who's 1 year old today, and those best wishes come from Mum and Dad. Happy birthday, Gemma.
Right, the time is 7:52, which is time for some more music, and the brand new video from our guests today, Dave and Alan of Depeche Mode, and the other 2 as well. It's called Masters and Servants. Here it is. And our friends here from Depeche Mode were just telling me that the girl with the very stunning face was a tape operator you just roped in.
That's right, yeah, she was the girl we was recording in Berlin, and she was, we asked her to do it, and she said, yeah, sure. She came down and
Smashing.
slapped some makeup on, and that was it.
Instant fame for her. Smashing. Let me just remind you also that the finals of our breakdance competition are taking place about...
Discovered. You've stayed with the same record company, one of the smaller record companies throughout, haven't you? Despite offers from the big boys. Why is that?
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, we've always had a really good relationship with Mute Records, and there's been no reason to change, that's all. It's quite simple, you know. Dan, who we were talking about earlier, is a great music lover, and you don't feel that there's any ulterior motive with Mute, that it's just kind of a business for them, you know.
Even though presumably you could have earned much more loot had you gone elsewhere.
Well, we've been offered, we've been offered huge amounts of money from larger labels, I'll say. But really, so the thing, in the beginning, we wasn't really tempted with that, because we were all working. I was at college, and the other guys were working in the band, and we was all in sort of fixed jobs and things, and it was just for fun, you know. And we wanted to make a single, and all these big labels wanted to have these great big contracts for 10 years, and like, you know, offering us lots of money, but we didn't really wasn't sure whether we wanted to go into it.
People have the illusion that when you get offered lots of money, it's just a gift.
Yeah.
And it's not a gift at all, it's an advance on royalties. So if you are successful, you only have to pay that money back anyway.
Sure.
So it's not just a gift.
It's an industry you really have to learn how to play, don't you?
And
Otherwise
we've
you can
learned
get-
that through Mute. I mean, we manage
And
ourselves
we've
as
had
well.
success with Mute. It's not as if, you know, just because they're an independent, we haven't done as well as we were on a major. We may not have done even as well.
I'd like to pursue with you how you might.
Always like their own way. But on Sunday, lightning opens the heavens and pours down money, suddenly.
Royalties.
Now, now, Gemini, and that includes Alan Wilder, you can curl up with a good book, or the telly, or your teddy bear early on in the week. Home is very happy. Your health gives you a stern warning, however. It's improving, but you need to take care. You do fly off the handle a bit at the weekend, but there's excitement in the air as well. Now, Cancer.
A lot of stuff that you read in the papers is often coincidence, I feel, but sometimes, you know, a lot of things fall into place.
And, you know, there's so much rubbish printed about
Yeah.
astrology that it kind of cheapens it for a lot of people and puts people off, I think, which is
I
a
think
shame.
ours is
Well,
strong
it can
believer.
do a bit, but I mean, I'm a great believer in some sign astrology because I think there's enough in it to persuade people. I mean, most of it is actually just great fun, and if it's nice, it cheers you
Yeah.
up,
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of thing. But there's no way you can actually do serious astrology for the general mass of people because they
that's
don't have
right.
access to the bits. But by and large, there are sort of enough about Taurians to be able to persuade you that you're exactly like that.
What's a typical Taurus then?
Very earthy, very physical. Taurians you always know because they touch people. I mean, not because but almost like puppy dogs. I mean, you love to cuddle up to people, and which is a very Taurus thing, whereas Gemini is not.
Really?
Yeah.
And Gemini is not really like that at all. Gemini is much more laid back, likes to communicate. It's more of a mean
exactly
thing.
right.
I always find Geminis are sort of super cool. And
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah,
That's exactly right. It really is. Yeah, we always take the mickey out of Al, you know, because of his accent and the words he uses and everything. Yeah. He's always very cool and laid back in everything we do. Really, just takes it easy. You know?
And much more adaptable, whereas Taurians are usually quite stubborn about having their own way.
Warriors.
You're a worrier.
I worry a lot. Yeah. Well, not worry. I don't really worry. It's just like
Yes, he
getting
does.
things done. You know, get things done quick.
Plotting.
Yeah.
I see. Gives us some insight, certainly. Let's go straight over to John now.
And so, you know, I wouldn't like to leave a dog on its own, or I'll put it into a kennel.
No, sorry. What's your favourite animal?
Probably a dog.
Yeah. Man's best friend. What about you, Alan?
We've got a cat here, a very friendly cat.
Eh?
We've got a very friendly cat here, he's very nice.
What's he called?
Foxy.
Foxy. Is he scruffy?
No, he's not, he's neat, yeah, he's very short-haired.
Yeah.
Nice little thing.
I think I used to have a hamster, and hamsters are wonderful because they're getting up and going just when you're sort of you can spend the evening with hamsters.
Yeah, they have a little thing, don't they, and you can watch them all evening.
I'm sure they hate it. I used to have a hamster who used to get lost inside my piano. He used to come out about 3 days later covered in soot.
I used to budgie that used to jump in the washing up liquid. He used to be on his shoulder and you'd be washing up and it would jump off your shoulder and go into the water.
That's very odd. Well, we're going to be talking to Dave and Alan from Depeche Mode a bit later.
Slide into this,
A little bit
It's a totally unreasonable hour for us rock and rollers.
Well, we've got a competition for you, you see. See if you can do this. It's time for our...
Who do you support?
I did support Chelsea for years and years since I was about 7 or something. I used to go there all the time, up to the bridge. And but Pat Nevin gave us a terrible review in one of the papers this week. He was reviewing singles in one of the music papers, and he gave us a disgusting review. So
it just goes to show what happens if you let footballers review music.
No, that's all right. Go and watch him.
Well, one of the
play,
blokes in the band, Fletch in the band, he supports Chelsea as well, and he's gone today.
Yeah.
Is he a good player?
He is a good player,
Yeah,
actually. He's one of the up-and-coming elite, really, because there's not too many of them, and he could be an outstanding footballer. He's a young man. Why? What did he say about you then?
Well, he just really, what was it?
I can't remember.
He just really put it down to say, he's never liked anything we've done anyway. But I mean,
That's a shame when you
it's down to
support
taste, but it's
him.
difficult. I mean, they don't really mean a lot, the reviews like that, because they're all down to the reviewer's
individual
personal taste.
I mean,
you know.
sometimes the guy never says it quite like that.
No, they sort of do it in a way that I don't really like.
You know,
That's just about enough football conversation, I think, for now. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude.
That's all right.
But we've got to hurry on.
Okay.
I'm always being told to hurry on,
Right.
you see. Terribly sorry, Jimmy,
Right.
I've offended him now.
Please wish my daughter Alison a very happy 6th birthday on Monday the 27th of August. Please tell her that her mum thinks she's the best girl in the world. Happy birthday, Alison. Lots of love from Mum, Gran, Margaret, Jim, Lee, Frank, May and the boys.
Better give her a wave. Thank you. Who have you got?
Yeah, I've got please say hello and best wishes to our daughter Joanne Wilding from 22 Oakwell Close, Maltby in Rotherham, who's 9 today. She's on holiday just now with her nana and granddad at Saltfleet. And tell her we love her, miss her very much from Mummy and Daddy.
I hope she's having a good holiday.
And the kisses.
And the kisses. Here, go and do the kisses. Thank you. I've got one here. It says DTVAM. Could you please wish Paul Thomas a very happy birthday? A girl at school called Victoria who's called Wiggy.
Really?
It must be one of those common nicknames.
didn't know.
Happy
You're on
birthday,
me.
Wiggy. Right. Now you can see the twine. We may have
Think
some
about that one.
very young youngsters doing the competition. See, it's nice to encourage them from an early age.
Yeah. Very good.
Yes. Now we're going to be talking about breakdancing a bit later on. How important a part of your persona, the group's identity?
He's a bit of a mover.
I thought you were going to ask us to get up and do something.
Well, if you'd like to.
It's our expert. If Martin was
actually.
here, he'd be on the floor.
Yeah, he's our expert in
Martin's
the
the
band.
expert in
He's
breakdancing.
a bit of a mover,
But when you say you've got an expert, I mean, does he teach you how to do? I mean, it is important how you look.
I
on
move
stage.
around a lot on stage. I sort of dance around a lot on stage. But, I mean, I've had no training or anything in dancing. I mean, I used to go to a lot of clubs years ago, and I like dancing. I used to like dancing and things, so you just find that you when you're playing live, you find good points in songs where you can do something dramatic, which actually will set off the audience.
He has to do it for us, really, because the rest of us are all stuck behind keyboards.
Behind keyboards and
So he
things,
has
and
to
they
keep
can't
these
move
going.
around.
Yeah. What about the audience? I mean, actually, there's some marvellous movers around nowadays, isn't there? Fantastic.
Well, the audience are always really lively. It's great, you know. They always get going with us, even when we sit down venues. You know, they're all up and going, and when they're clapping along and everything. It's great. You know, the gigs are always really good.
Well, why weren't you moving a bit more when Lizzie was doing her bit?
Because
Well, it's a bit too
slightly
early.
yeah.
All right, have a bit of sleep.
All right.
We'll take another break.
That's great. Thanks very much.
Good. Smashing having you.
And to Phil Fearon.
Yes.
Thank you. Didn't do much, did I?
Wasn't? No, you sat there, but my goodness,
Dragged me out of
didn't
bed
you
and
move?
Sorry.
No, you told me a great deal about
that, by the way.
Still at it.
Thank you very much for joining us. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's breakdancer now. It should
Yes,
be
I
really
am.
good.
Ian
shouldn't
was
it?
terrific, I must say.
Yes,
It was a
he
flying
was.
start.
Ian.
And join us again tomorrow. We'll see some more.
Pretty good, eh?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.